Ever stare at your closet and think, I have nothing to wear? The little black dress exists because of that exact feeling. Over 100 years ago, Coco Chanel created it to solve fashion's biggest problem, the need for one flawless, versatile piece. But how did it go from practical solution to cultural icon? That's where things get interesting. In 1926, black fabric meant one of two things. You were either mourning a death or wearing a maid's uniform. Then Coco Chanel sketched a simple black dress for Vogue, and fashion would never be the same. Her Vogue sketch wasn't just a dress, it was a rebellion. At the time, women's clothing was all about layers, corsets, and bright colors. The idea that black could be elegant, let alone daytime appropriate, was shocking. Chanel's design worked because the 1920s were ready for change. After World War I, women needed clothes that matched their new lives. They were working, driving cars, and demanding more freedom. Heavy skirts and tight bodices didn't make sense anymore. Fashion historians note that Chanel's LBD cost about as much as a working woman's weekly salary, but it promised something priceless. You could wear it anywhere without looking out of place. Think of it like when hoodies first appeared on fashion runways decades later. What started as practical workwear became a symbol of rebellion and then a staple. Chanel's dress did the same thing, just faster. The straight silhouette didn't emphasize curves, which was radical at the time. It was the opposite of what proper women were supposed to wear. Magazines called it Chanel's Ford because, like the Model T car, it was affordable, practical, and came in one color. But this wasn't just about convenience. That black fabric sent a message. Rich women had always shown off by changing outfits multiple times a day. Chanel's design said you could be just as polished wearing the same thing all day, just accessorized differently. By the late 1920s, copies of the dress were everywhere. Department stores sold cheaper versions, and sewing patterns let women make their own. You could dress it up with a string of pearls, or down with a cardigan. What began as a wealthy woman's statement became a working woman's secret weapon. Either way, it made getting dressed simpler. The genius of the LBD was that it had no rules. Unlike a wedding gown or a ball gown, it didn't come with expectations. Chanel herself said it was a uniform for independence. That's why it stuck around while other trends faded. It wasn't just a dress, it was proof that women didn't have to follow old-fashioned rules to look put together. But the little black dress wasn't done evolving. Just as it became a staple, Hollywood decided black was only for villains and vamps. The next chapter of the LBD's story would take it from practical to legendary, with help from an actress who almost wore pink.